Hello and welcome to Scientifically Speaking. I follow the Christ. I follow Jesus Christ because Christ is King. Unfortunately, what I'm about to say makes me look and sound a different way. But what I want you to know is that I would like everybody to come to an understanding of Jesus Christ, that he is an energy being who gives life to lifeless matter. And what I'm about to say may be painful, but it is the truth. And everybody should come to Christ. So what I'm about to say is not going to sit well with some people, even though everybody is aware of it. Okay. Everybody understands who lives in a first world country with an IQ of between 100 and 140 understands what being in a first world is all about. If you are inundated with millions of people from a third world country, a third world shithole, and their IQ is 80, what do you think will happen? Well, let's see what would happen. I asked AI, what is the highest animal IQ ever recorded, and what is the number and the animal? AI replies, while there is no official standardized IQ score for animals, because IQ tests are designed specifically for human language and cultural contexts, the chimpanzee and the African grey parrot are frequently cited as having the highest measurable intelligence relative to humans. The chimpanzee has a high score range of between 70 and 90 IQ equivalent. And remember, I just said, these third world immigrants that are being forcibly brought into the countries to demoralize and deteriorate that country for a great reset. These people have 80 IQs. The number, some researchers estimate that highly trained great apes like chimpanzees and gorillas, notably Coco the gorilla, score between 70 and 90 on the human adapted IQ scales. Performance, a chimpanzee named Ayumu famously outperformed human university students in complex short-term memory tests involving the rapid recall of numbers. African grey parrot, cognitive age equivalent 5 to 6 years old. The number, while not often given a single IQ number, the famous parrot Alex was found to have the intellectual capacity of a 5-year-old human. Performance, Alex could identify over 50 objects, 7 colours and 5 shapes, and understood the concept of zero and categorization. Another African grey, Griffin, outperformed Harvard undergraduates in a visual working memory test. But then again, we all know what's happened to education, eh? So, summary of the top ranked species are chimpanzee, orangutan, bottlenose dolphin, and the African grey parrot. The African grey? The African grey. So, chimpanzee has an equivalent IQ to a third world invader, illegal immigrants, people who should not be here and certainly shouldn't be put up in hotels and all the rest of it. God says you should take in the stranger, but he also says you should not let your walls fall to the invader. So let's not be throwing biblical nonsense at me, please. If you have the equivalent of a chimpanzee, do we believe that there's a correlation? Well, I tell you what. Why are chimpanzees violent? Tell me if this sounds familiar. Chimpanzee violence stems from a mix of evolved behaviors for gaining resources, status, and mates, seen in lethal territorial raids and internal dominance struggles. But it's also influenced by stress from human impact, which would be somebody at 120 to 140 IQ compared to the chimpanzee 80 IQ. So the very fact that humans impact an 80 IQ chimpanzee is the same as a 120 IQ person being next to an 80 IQ person. Evolutionary and adaptive reasons, resource competition, aggression, helps groups secure vital food and territory from rivals, increasing survival and reproduction. Think of a Jet 2 holiday. Dominance and mating. Violence establishes social hierarchy, allowing dominant males access to females and ensuring they pass on their genes. Territorial defense. Male chimpanzees form raiding parties to attack neighboring groups, eliminating competitors and expanding their range. So there we go. That's what happens when an 80 IQ meets 120 IQ. They attack the higher IQ, as it says right there. 80 IQ violence stems from a mix of evolved behaviours for gaining resources, status and mates, seen in lethal territorial raids and internal dominance struggles, but it's also influenced by stress from human 120 IQ impact. Thanks very much. My name is Lee. I follow the Christ, and I wish everybody would turn to Jesus, because it is the only escape from this narcissistic, insane government. We have to turn to Jesus. There's no other way out. Thanks very much.